Hi everybody, it's Jessica, and welcome to another video by the Entropy System. A small handful of you has some questions for me directly, and then of course there were a lot of questions directed toward everyone in the system, so I'm going to go ahead and answer a few of those for you today. The first question was directed at all of us who don't come out very often, and the question was, what things in the outside world make fronting worth it for you? I don't mind fronting. I don't mind coming out and being in the body. And in fact, this YouTube thing I think is a really sweet way for us to come out and interact in ways that we don't really get to in the headspace. But I also don't always jump at the chance for it. I don't really have a ton of interest coming out and living wins day to day, or Win and Kit and Kim, because they're the ones in charge of outside living and socializing and make sure the job that we're doing is good and all that. And that's just not really my cup of tea. Their life and how I like my life to go really aren't on the same page, so I'd rather be kind of a guardian for them. If they need me up front to help with any troublemakers on the outside, then I'm more than happy to step up and kind of be that disconnect, that barrier for them of, well, I can handle this because I'm, even though I know I'm part of the system, I'm still kind of emotionally disconnected from the system. I see them there and I know I live with them and I share the body, and I have no disillusions about being an alter, but I still feel very separate as far as, I don't know, they're very tight-knit, they're very much like a family, and maybe it's because I'm new, or maybe it's because I was kind of here in order to be a disconnect from real, outside world troubles, but I do still feel like I'm sort of in a different category. Like, I care about all of them and I love them, but I'm not really invested in the outside world, so I couldn't give two rats about what someone might think about me or say about me or feel after they interact with me. So other than a situation like this where it's requested that I come out, or a situation where I need to step in and handle some unpleasantries, there's really not much that makes me say, ooh, I really want to take charge of the body. I'd rather let the others do that because that's their natural flow of things, and I'll go about my business on the inside. Do you have knowledge about how to treat different disorders, or any knowledge that a doctor in your field would have, even if no one researched it? Okay, so this question is a reference to I guess my inner world self and the self who I thought I was when I broke off. I was Dr. Jessica Mann, psychologist and physicist. And wouldn't it be lovely if I just knew enough to get my doctorate in both of those fields? I could go get some honorary degrees for the system from a real nice college. We could walk around with a couple PhDs under our belt, but no, the brain doesn't work like that. DID is not magical. It does not produce knowledge from nowhere. If one of us has not studied the knowledge, then none of us are going to have the knowledge. I do not just magically have this doctorate level understanding of physics and psychology. I know only what the rest of the system knows, which is a decent amount of self-studying of psychology and about 1 semester of physics. The next question's kind of similar. Do you believe that you got doctorates, or does the mind just find physics and psychology interesting? So, I believe that the reason that I was made a physicist is because when it comes to physics, Wynn had a really, really difficult time. That semester where she tried to be a physics major and she, took Physics 1, the teacher was just, he was a good teacher, but his tests were extremely hard, and that was a class we almost didn't pass, even though we were studying with study groups with the kid who was getting A's the whole way through, and we just, for some reason, it just wouldn't stick. So there's a lot of insecurity about physics, and then also, TV really affects us a lot, really affects Wynn a lot, and we were watching, oh, what was that? With the robot, the Danger Will Robinson. Lost in Space. We were watching Lost in Space at the time that I was broken off, and you know, they're all chemists and physicists and astrophysicists and stuff like that. So that might have also played into it too, just seeing these very capable people, you know, overcoming their problems with science. And then of course psychology was sort of my in on distancing us from people we knew on the outside who, you know, there was like a mental block that wouldn't let Wynn sort of observe their behavior from a non-judgmental point of view. You know, she wanted them to be what she imagined that they could be and couldn't accept that, you know, they're their own people and they're not going to live up to her expectations. So I kind of came in to be the psychologist who would observe the whole situation and, you know, view it from a very impartial point of view. So that's where I believe that the physics and the psychology go hand in hand. Now, that being said, of course we think that psychology is exceptionally interesting. That's why we do this channel and that's why we research so much. Physics is of course very interesting too. I think like Wynn, even though she is not the best physics student, still thinks that it's extremely interesting. But the interest itself is not why... Oh, my accent's going all funky. Is it interesting? Yes, but is the interest the reason why I was born with those, you know, I was born around those two ideologies? No, I don't believe it's just interest alone. All right, last question for the day. Do you like the inner world always being night? Does it affect your mood? So it's not night for me. In fact, it's almost always like mid-morning for me. Everybody else has it in the nighttime, and I'm understanding that it is because night is when we can sort of cut loose and we don't have the responsibilities that we have during the day. We can just kind of be ourselves at night in the outside world, and so that's sort of a reinforcement that there is no obligation to be anything but our relaxed selves in the inside world. However, I do not like it at night. I do not like being surrounded by eternal darkness. That is not relaxing for me. So Ed and Oz sort of have me in this little experience bubble where it's always sunshine. So I exist at the same time and place as everybody else. You know, I can go to their room, I can talk to them, you know, we're in the same zone. It's not like we're in like a parallel dimension where I'm walking around during the day and then they're only walking around at night. We can't see each other. So we can see each other, we can talk, we can interact, but if we meet out on a street corner, what I see is day and what they see is night. And because we, you know, the inner world is purely a place of, you know, collective imagination, stuff like that's possible with no issue. All right, everyone, I think I took a little over 5 minutes, but I hope that I didn't bore you away. I hope that everyone has a very great day, and thank you for listening to me. And I love this little sign-off that we do. Remember that you are loved, you are valuable, and you are valid. Everybody have a great day. Bye. Hi everybody, it's Wynn. I want to take this opportunity to give a huge thank you shout out to Shoshi Bauer and Lily Andrews and all of our other patrons for helping support this channel and making what we do possible. If you are interested in becoming a patron, a link to our Patreon is in the description below. If you are interested in sending us fan mail of any kind, our P.O. Box address is also in the description below. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye!